Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back. Today is the 20th of January 2025 and there's a lot of things going on today, so I thought it would be really interesting to look at the numerology of today as well as pulling some cards to see what's going on spiritually. Get a bit of a handle on this too, because there just seems to be so much happening today, so much of significance going on at the moment. Very, very interesting energy. So I'd like to dive into that and see what it means for us all. Very interesting day. So 20th of January, so I believe it's Trump's inauguration today as President of the United States. It's also Blue Monday, which is supposed to be the most depressing or depressed day of the year. I mean, that was coined as a marketing ploy, but it kind of works, so I get where they're coming from. Thank you for Yasmin for reminding me about that one. It's also today, I believe, that we've got all of the planets lining up. I mean, there's just so much going on for one day. It just seems improbable that there would be so much happening in one day, so it must be significant. So we're going to look at that. So without further ado, I'm going to write out the date in two different ways. I'm going to write it how I write it, and then I'm going to write it how it's written in the United States. So for me, it's the 20th of January 2025. And we're going to look at this version of it first, then we will look at the US version because it will be slightly different. Okay, so this is interesting because the way we write it, we get the zeros together. So to me, it speaks of creativity, having the zeros together. Two zeros, two possible paths, I think, are being presented to us today. I feel like there are, yes, two very different realities, because I want to do this. Two very different realities being presented to us, two different timelines, perhaps. Dimensional shifts and possibility, but one goes up and one goes down. Interesting that I drew the up over the 1 and the down over the 20. That's very curious. So let's take a look at these numbers. So we've got 3 2s, which is significant in and of itself. We've got 3 zeros as well. So the 2s and the zeros matching and mirroring each other. And then we have 5 and 1. If we take the 5 and the 1, we get a 6, which is the number of the heart. So the 3 zeros, the void, and the 3 2s also equaling 6. Yeah, the heart is very much involved here. It's almost as if our hearts are being pulled in two different directions. It feels like a test, a spiritual test of some kind. Where will your heart take you? Where will it lead you? Will you choose to ascend, or will you be seduced back into the lower energies? I think that's kind of what it comes down to. And I don't want it to make it sound like I'm coming from ego here, like, oh, I'm so great because this is my opinion, because it's not like that. It's a little bit different. It's not quite that black and white, and it's actually that black and white thinking that I would try and encourage people to get away from right now. But do be aware of what's happening. Do be aware that we are being manipulated. We are manipulated a lot in this realm. Oh, let's put my lights on. There we go, that's better. So there's a lot of manipulation, there is a lot of subterfuge in the system right now, so we shouldn't be so naive as to think that one person is our saviour and the other person is the devil. They're probably both neither, but that doesn't mean that either of them are good for us or have our best intentions at heart. In fact, I would go as far as to say most politicians do not have best intentions, because as we know, psychologists will tell you, people with personality disorders such as narcissism, psychopathy, sociopathy are very, very drawn to positions of power. So there are statistically more of those types of people in positions of power, such as politics. So it's just a simple fact that you're going to find them there manipulating others. So it's always something to bear in mind, always something to think about. So let's take a look at the numbers themselves. So we've got 22 for our day. We've got our month, which is a number 1, and we've got our year, which is a number 9. We're going to add them all up now, and we get 30. 33. We reduce it to 3 because 3 plus 0 is 3. So, again, more zeros. Another 0, another 10. So I spoke earlier this month about how we're in a number 10 month, and it's interesting because 2025 is a number 9 year. If you add the month number to it for January, which is 1, you get 10. So this is a 10 month. But normally I would reduce 10 to 1. So normally I'd write it as 10-1. However, this month I just wasn't feeling the 1. It was like it wasn't there. I couldn't feel it. I could only feel the 10 energy coming through. So I have been referring to this month as a 10 month, which I think is important. This is not a 10-1 month. This is a 10 month. It's very, very interesting energy. And look at this, I kind of want to go back to 2001. What happened in 2001 that's influencing what's happening now? And that is a general question because I'm not a historian and I haven't done any research before now. But I think it would be interesting to have a look to see what was happening in 2001 that's influencing or may have shaped society for how things are playing out right now. I think it would be interesting to look back to see what was going on in your life personally back in 2001 as well. And we've also had the film 2001 A Space Odyssey. I feel like I need to connect to that as well. There's some weird connections coming in here psychically. Very, very interesting, all of this. But we get 33. And of course, it will be the same for, you know, how you guys in the States write the date. That's not going to be any different. It's still going to come to 33. But it's an interesting one because 3 is the number of the divine blueprint. It is where we redesign our life. 30 comes in with the power of the void as well. So it's the void leading the blueprint, which is very interesting. So it's almost like, are we creating our future or is our future creating us? Oh, interesting words. Is our divine future self actually helping us here? And for some reason I'm going to bring in my little ocean jasper turtle here as well. I feel the turtle symbolism very strongly. Could be a totem animal for you. I was talking about turtles the other day, actually yesterday, wasn't I, talking about Yasmin, because she has done volunteering with turtles, and I'm drawn to turtles for some reason. So might be a moment to look up the symbolism of turtles. Of course, they're very wise, they have a hard shell, they're very long-lived, and they also know how to go with the flow. So perhaps that's the message here. Maybe it's more about going with the flow energetically, but also being discerning, not trying to force anything to change, but being discerning in your choices and decisions and very intentional in your words is what I want to say. When you speak something, you speak it into existence. So be very careful what it is that you repeat over and over again out loud or write or type or share on social media. Yes, because we are in this creative stage right now. We're in a creative phase, but it feels kind of almost like a subconscious creative phase. So whatever's in our subconscious is what's going to be helping us to create at the moment. So it's an interesting energy. I would say try not to fight against things too much. Fighting against the tide isn't going to work, as our little turtle will tell you. It just doesn't work. The tide is stronger than you. It's bigger than you. You need to bide your time. You might need to swim under the currents. You might need to get away from them, or just go with it for now and then adjust your course in due course. I feel like the course adjustments are going to come in February here. But it's very, very interesting energy that we're getting here. Very interesting. Now let me just bring in the other way to write the date as if I was in the States. So 1/20/2025. So I don't know. Would you guys put a 0 there? Someone from the States tell me, do you put a 0 there when you write the date like that or not? Because I'm not sure whether it should be there or not. And the very fact that I'm not sure it should be there or not is kind of speaking volumes to me energetically as to whether the unlimited potential is allowed. There is a sense of, am I allowed to have a different opinion here? Am I allowed to do things differently? Okay, because the 1 and 2 together here, they make a 3. They make a new blueprint surrounded by the void. So the blueprint is sat in the middle of all of this uncertainty, all of this unknowing. So it feels, if you are connected to the US or live there or resonate very strongly with that energy, it could be that you're literally sat there with your plans, but you don't know whether you can do it at the moment. You're not sure. That there is a sense of uncertainty, not knowing what's going to happen. Perhaps having a plan, but not knowing how you're going to make it happen. So we have our 3 over here and we have our 9 over here. Oh, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? I was talking about all the 6s that jump out to me. So that gives us If we take all of the 2s, that adds up to 6. If we take the 5 and the 1, it adds up to 6. I'm going to add a little magic 6 in here. So we've got 3, 6, 9, which are powerful manifesting numbers. So for you guys, it does feel like your path is a little bit different from ours in the rest of the world right now, whereas we kind of have to go with the flow, and maybe we have to wait for you guys to sort out your energy so we can move forwards with ours. Because 369 is a very magical number sequence for manifesting, very powerful number sequence for manifesting. So there's something very powerful going on in the States right now energetically. It's not just a new president coming in. There's a big shift happening right now. And it's very important that you don't lose hope, you don't lose faith in yourself, in the universe, and in the fact that we're moving into a new golden age right now. Please don't forget that. Things might seem dark, things might not be on the surface going how you want them to, but you may find that they actually are. You just can't see it yet because you're surrounded by void. You can't see anything around you. You're in darkness at the moment. But we need you to keep your faith at the moment. And I just saw 1101 on the clock there, which is very interesting because that gives us 111 numerology and also gives us 3, which is the divine blueprint. So you are manifesting from your higher selves right now. It's very, very important that you keep that in mind. Okay, you guys in the States are quite responsible for some big things happening on the macro level right now energetically, and we need you to keep your eyes on the prize. We need you to stay positive. We need you to stay in a positive state of mind, but not being fooled by those who would wish to use your manifesting abilities against you. Because as human beings, we're incredibly powerful manifestors. We have this ability to manifest things. So that's why we are propagandized, not just to make us do things on the physical level, but it makes us believe things and it makes us manifest things that wouldn't otherwise have been able to come to pass. And all of those different levels work together. You know, the physical level, the emotional level, the mental and the spiritual all work together because they cannot be separated. So, of course, those who would wish to manifest certain things for themselves will manipulate us to manifest it for them because we're very good at it. We have a great depth of emotion. So, of course, we're very useful manifestors because of that. Whereas there are other beings from other dimensions who are just not able to do that. And I saw 1212 on the clock as I was just saying that. And 12 is the number of government, basically. 12 is the number of perfect governance. And when it's out of balance, it's despotic government. So yeah, and 2 together, it's almost like there's a choice here. Do you want to be led or do you want to lead? Do you want to be misled or do you want to take responsibility for your life and see things for what they really are, no matter how frightening or how uncomfortable that's going to be? There's certainly a nudge here that the United States needs to step out of their comfort zone. Our guys in the States, you guys over there, you need to step out of your comfort zone, please, because we need you to. In a way, energetically, you're going to be leading right now, just for a short time. It doesn't mean you lead the whole world, because you don't. Get back in your box. But right now, what's happening over there is pivotal for the rest of the world, and we're kind of waiting on you energetically. We're waiting on you to figure this out so that we can all move forwards together. Just pulling a couple of cards here from the Kitten Tarot, which is my new deck. Just get some extra messages. Yes. You see, we need your passion to move forwards, you guys. You guys in the States, we need your passion. We need you to help us manifest this, okay? All right, so the High Priestess came out first, so it is very much bringing in the number 2 energy, which is very, very strong here. We've got 3 2s. Okay, so we are manifesting here from our higher abilities, from our intuition, from our higher mind today. And the rest of the world is waiting for you to pick up the torch to, you know, to lead right now. We need you to see what's happening. We need you to move forwards. And the Knight of Pentacles is about moving slowly, moving forward slowly and in the right way. And the Justice card is showing us that things should be done in the right way and fairly and with everyone's interests taken into account. Page of Wands coming in here as well. So there's definitely something that you guys need to learn. It's funny because I always get a sense of speed connected with the US because you guys do like to do things very quickly, and certainly from where I'm from, we kind of consider you a bit rash, a bit trigger happy, a bit loudmouth, you know, opening your mouth and, you know, instead of making people wonder if you're an idiot, opening your mouth and removing all doubt. You know, that's kind of the vibe we have from you guys. And sometimes it's right. But there is this sense of needing to go back to a time where you were slower and more sensible. Needing to go back to this energy that you still carry within you. You still carry this wisdom within you of knowing how to go more slowly and knowing how to do things the right way and fairly. But it's a learning phase right now, learning how to be that energy again, I guess, for the United States and the people who live there, connected there, you know, or maybe even US citizens abroad if you still resonate strongly with your country. There is a need to find a new way to do things that is more measured, but also still retains your passion. Okay, it's not a case of choosing one or the other. You don't have to choose between passion and speed, and, you know, speed, basically. It's not a case of either you go fast or you do it right. You know, it's finding the way to go at the right speed so you don't rush things, because there is this sense of having rushed a bit too much on many different fronts, many different agendas, and got yourself in a terrible muddle at the moment. So yeah, there's definitely some contemplation to be had, and the nudge is to ask our friends in the States to please lead from your intuition right now. Or to do healing work or prayer work, you know, that helps those in positions of authority and influence and the rest of the population to actually do that inner work right now, to see what's really going on the inside, because it feels like the rest of us are kind of waiting for you guys. Okay, so let's pull some more cards from some of my oracle decks and get some more messages about today, because I am really interested to see what's going on here. And look what I did now. I didn't consciously pick the pens that I'm using. My guides told me which ones to use. So notice that at the bottom we have the red of the root chakra, and at the top we have the purple of the crown chakra, which is very balanced. So it feels to me like this stuff's kind of more on the etheric level, and this is more concrete things happening at the moment in the US. So let me put my book to one side. We will get out some cards and get some messages about what's happening today, what we can expect after today, and yeah, any guidance or messages for the collective. So, all right, Moonology cards first. Let's see what we've got. Hold your vision. What did I just say? Fixed moon. Hold your vision, people. Hold your positive vision for the future. We are moving into a new gold age, okay? Most of us won't be around to see it, I don't think, because we won't live that long. We're not supposed to. Or if we were supposed to, we're not able to right now. Hold your vision of the future. Hold your positive vision of a healed, united earth where people have self-sovereignty, are empowered, self-empowered, okay? Where we have reconnected with higher aspects of self, ascended to that higher level that we are going towards. Okay. Emotions are running high. Yeah, it's going to be an emotional day with the supermoon energy coming in here. And nothing is yet set in stone. Okay, with the mutable moon, yes. So please don't think that everything's going wrong. There are dark actors with dark agendas, for sure, but nothing's set in stone. They do not have the upper hand at this time. Hold your vision. Do not let them demoralize you to the point where you start believing in their version of the future that they would like to see and start helping them to manifest it. All right, that would be foolishness. And on the bottom we have expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. So whatever happens today, whichever direction we go in. And look what we've got here. We've got these two crescent moons in the opposite directions and the full moon in the middle. Kind of looks like a triple moon, like the triple goddess here. So there's a reminder to lean into that triple goddess energy here. So it's all still to play for, guys. Humanity is not buggered. It's all still to play for. Please, please believe that. Please remember that. We are still manifesting our futures individually and collectively. We are extremely powerful manifestors, and we can change anything. Change anything that we want. Okay. And I mean that on a higher spiritual way. I don't mean necessarily that we can like decide that, oh, a different person's going to be president because I want them to be. I mean, really, that's minutiae. That's petty thinking. That, I mean, who cares? They're all idiots. I'm sorry, but you guys know I'm an anarchist, all right? An anarchist just means no rulers. It doesn't mean no rules. You can still have rules and consequences for actions. It just means that nobody gets to rule over others and tell them what to do. Okay. So, number 20, what the winter spirits know. Wow. And 19, only weavers know the time. So there's something quite magical going on here to do with timings and to do with the winter, because we are in the winter right now. And it's a number 20. Look at that. How cheeky. Number 20 has come out for the 20th of January. How interesting. And then we have 1 and 9, which represent the month and the year, because we're in the first month of a number 9 year. Isn't that interesting how that's come out there? So we've got to number 30 yet again, just like we did in our numerology. I love that. I love how the numbers play games like that. Yes, there's definitely some divine timing going on here. And yes, only the highest powers know the timings that things will happen in, for sure. And there is something about connecting with the winter right now, connecting with the winter self, because we are in January. So it's not the best month to be making new beginnings. I don't care what they say, because it's the middle of frickin' winter. We're not supposed to be doing new things until spring. Okay, it's not natural. It's not comfortable for a lot of us. I hate being forced to get up when it's still dark outside. I absolutely loathe it. I'm not a morning person anyway, so it's super hard for me to be able to get up when it's dark outside. That's a dreadful thing to do to me. I will detest you forever if you make me do that. Unless you're taking me on a Caribbean holiday, then I might forgive you. But it's unnatural. But what is natural in the winter? Let us tune into the winter spirits to see what wisdom they have for us. Is it about resting? Is it about how everything has to die back? And sometimes we have to put things away and wait for the spring to bide our time. I've just seen 2202 on the clock, so we've got that 222 energy again, which was in our numerology today. 2226. So yes, it is about knowing when to act, when not to act, and also knowing that divine timing will help us to guide us here as well. So I would say take a little trip in your meditation today, if you meditate or do any kind of spiritual work. Invite the winter spirits in, invite the wisdom of this season to help and guide you right now, because it's not the moment to be doing things that we should be doing in spring or summer or autumn. It just won't work. Okay, interesting. All right, let's get a couple of Jules' Oracle cards just to finish off. All right. Oh, do you know what? We're going to do letter tiles at the end as well, see if any names or initials come out. That'll be very interesting. And you guys can tell me if you see or recognise any names of politicians or people in the public eye that I might not see. I might not spot them, but I know you will. So let's do that together. That will be fun. So, Oracle deck. What else can we expect from today's energy, please? Everything going on today. Who are you? 51-6. Can I just say, going back to the numerology, 5 and 1 are both there in today's date. And I actually called them out and turned them into a 51-6 earlier, didn't I? So the numerology just keeps coming out, keeps repeating itself in the cards. So it is just confirming to us how important those numbers are today. So who are you? That's the question. Do you remember? Do you remember who you really are? You are the divine in human form. You are God-godding. You are infinite possibility having a human experience. And it's a very confusing way to be because we are everything, but we also have amnesia, but we also sense things and remember certain things. So there's a little nudge to remember who you are. There could be connections to people who identify with being starseeds here as well. Could be connections to off-world that you wish to explore. So, knowing 37, 10, 1. So we're in our 10 energy here, which is, I keep saying January is a 10 month, and it absolutely is. And viva la vie. Only life matters. Okay. There are people who would try to harm us, unalive us, reduce our population numbers, and that's how you know that you're fighting against people that you might call evil. I mean, evil is subjective, of course, at our human level, but life matters. Life matters, and those who wish to extinguish it are probably not on the side of humanity. Okay. And I think that's going to become more obvious as time goes on. I think we're going to see laws passed, anti-human laws about, I want to go as far as to say length of life. And that's a very dark theme. And I'm going into like Logan's Run now. If you haven't seen that film, look it up. It's an excellent film. Michael York. No, don't do the impression. Right. And sorry, I can't help it. Yes, I think that's something we're going to see. Plans to unalive vast numbers of us in some way, shape or form. And it will be insidious. It won't be obvious. Okay, if you think it's obvious, that's probably not what's happening. It's the thing that isn't obvious that's probably where they're doing it. So, but again, please don't be frightened, because they won't succeed. They will not succeed. The dark forces will not succeed because they do not have the upper hand energetically, so they can't possibly win right now. It's just not possible. And we do know this on the deeper level. We do know who we are. We remember who we are if we take some time to sit and remember that we are all one. There is no separation between us. And that's not to say that we should allow other people to mistreat us and do whatever they want, but it helps you to find that peace and that higher standpoint of understanding, so the world doesn't seem quite so chaotic and quite so dark anymore. If you can find that place of peace and stay there and hold that as much as you can, you'll be helping a lot of people to reach towards peace as well. Hold it within yourself, and others will be guided to your light. Others will be guided to find it within themselves as well, even if they never meet you or encounter you. Because what happens, like I've said this many times, and sorry, I've got my tea here, I don't want it to get cold. Pause. And can I just say, I'm really appreciating how this is a very fairy core kind of card today, because I'm dressed in full fairy core today. You can't see what I'm wearing, but it's adorable. I'm wearing a brown fairy core today. I have a top with butterflies on. I have this gorgeous gypsy skirt with like this. I'm wearing a lovely shawl, which I got from Lavender Boom. And I'm really feeling like I wanted to express that part of myself today. So who are you? Who are you indeed? What do you want to express? How do you want to dress? How do you want to present yourself? And I was sat here thinking, yeah, where can I go dressed like this? You know, I mean, I can definitely go to the shops. I get some funny looks, but I always do anyway, so it makes no difference to me. I always stand out because I can't not, apparently. But I was thinking, wouldn't it be interesting if I could find a job where I could dress like this? And then I realised the job where I can dress like this is this one here with you guys. Anyway, I'll go on a little tangent there. But it seemed relevant. It came through. But what I'm always talking about is the most important thing that we can do as human beings to help other people, to help the planet, to help others, to help other souls, is to do our healing work. And that also helps our ancestral line, the collective karma, do our healing work and continue to do it, and continue to work on ourselves, to meditate, to contemplate, to find calm and peace within ourselves, to heal the shadow, to understand the shadow, to integrate those different aspects of self so that other people who are all connected to us via the huge energy grid that collects every single one of us, every human, every being, the planet herself, okay, because she has her own sentience. The more we can do that, that's how we raise humanity's vibration. That is the most important gift that you can give to everyone else, is to do your own healing, even if you don't necessarily see the outcomes, the consequences of that directly around you straight away. You may well see them in time. That's why I want to say you may well see them in time. And I have seen that over the years, the people around me have changed quite dramatically. So there's certainly something to be said for that. The more we heal and grow, the more the people around us change. Literally, some of them are swapped out for others, and others actually do their healing work and come with us. So that's always an interesting one too. There's a lot going on energetically today. There's a lot going on spiritually. It is a realignment of self, remembering who we are, remembering what our mission is here on earth, I think, as well. Yeah. And remembering that the most important thing is to be. You're a human being. You came here to be. I just thought 30 minutes on the clock. 30:01. So it's up to the individual now, the individual to paint your picture of the blueprint that you want to see. It's all up to you now. And that's very freeing. That's beautiful. Yes, you have this beautiful, gorgeous individual canvas to paint of your future, which will be so beautiful and will complement so many other people's beautiful canvases as well. And that's what I see in our future. And I just saw 30:30 on the clock as I said that. And that is our higher path right now, to paint a beautiful future for ourselves and for the generations to come too. And not to allow politicians to influence us so that we think we're painting a future and we're actually just manifesting more darkness. Integrate that darkness, work with that shadow, and then it can never be used against you. Wow. That was a bit deep. Like I always say, remember you guys, these words come through me, not from me. That's not necessarily me speaking the whole time. So, also why when I do a reading for someone, I may or may not remember some of the things I've said to you. Don't expect me to remember everything, because some of them didn't come from me. All right, let's get some letter tiles for today. Oh, this is exciting. I can't wait. I'm really excited about this for some reason. Okay, letter just fell in my lap, which is E. Let's see what words, initials, names we get for today. Oh, this is going to be good. O-I-E. That's the French for goose. Wah. Loi. Y. I want to put the Y here. E. D. Yannick. R. Doctor. B. N. H. G. E. Jerry. S. I. Gestation. E. Genie. You know, I was having a little monologue to myself earlier, and I was kind of preparing some of the things I wanted to say, and some of it is to remember that Trump isn't like this magic genie who's just going to like wave a wand and make everything better for you. Okay, no, interesting, the word genie is basically here. T, because none of them are. V, TV. M, CNN. I, let's get a few more letters. Let's finish our square. Right. N, there's CNN. Why? There could be something specifically interesting on CNN today. Some of the coverage on there could be pertinent to look at or pay attention to, the things being said. Got two Y's. That's unusual. And I. All right. Jerry, Jesse, Centenary, Moss. I'm fascinated by the Y's that come out. So curious to get two. I can see Biden. I can't make out Trump though, which is interesting. I mean, I can see his initials, DT, but country. Centrum. What does that mean? Is that like a multivitamin, Centrum? But what's the other meaning of Centrum? God, I remember those adverts on TV for Centrum, multivitamin. They made a big deal about how great they were. Don't know if they actually are. Something to do with blood here as well, because I'm saying heme. Which in medical terms is the prefix for blood, because it refers to red. So like hematosis, hematoma, stay of execution. So it's a stay of execution. I'm not even sure what that means in legal terms. I mean, I know it means you get like a waiting period before something happens. Is is it like a pause before you get executed? Not necessarily executed, but something is executed. So drab. Something's drab. Oh, I get the name Phil Drabble in my head. Wasn't he like a... He was on the TV, wasn't he? Drabble. He was on the TV in the UK. Who was he? Why is he coming into my mind? That's interesting. Yuri. It's interesting. I kind of see my own surname jumping out at me here as well, which is quite interesting. So it tells me it's a day for me as well. I get the word sensitive. Best. Nest. Hive. Hive mind. So there's something about brain Neuralink type technology coming in. And I know that's something that Mr. Musk is very keen on. Okay. You might want to take a screenshot of that screen and see what other words and initials that or names that you can pull out of that one as well. I think that would be interesting. So let's get some charms and let's get some astrology signs. So let's see what is influencing us today. Okay, Sagittarius, Aquarius, Virgo and Capricorn. Interesting. 2 air signs and 2 earth signs. It almost... No, it's not. 1 air sign, 1 fire sign and 2 earth signs. My apologies. Wow. Gregarious Sagittarius wanting to move forwards. And then Virgo and Capricorn holding us back while Aquarius wants to go in a different direction altogether. It's a very jumbled energy, I want to say today. Quite jumbled. Right, and charms. Let's get some... Oh, what just fell in my lap? What fell in my lap? Leo fell in my lap. Okay, Leo wants to go in a different direction altogether. Be interesting actually to look up the sun signs or the big 3 of the people in power, because I don't know what they are. We have the little Scotty dog from the Monopoly game, or from Radley. We have a little star. Also kind of looks like a military star there as well. So there's something to do with the US military coming out today. Something quite important. A shift, a change. There's a sweet little bow. That's nice. Are there medals being given to it? This is a really weird thing to say because I can't believe that would happen on like an inauguration day. Maybe it's in another country there are medals being given out today. Connection with the Native American tribes here as well. There's something happening. We have an angel wing. So divine intervention is happening as well here. We've got a monkey. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Oh shit, no, it is my circus and they're absolutely my monkeys running rampant. U O F Fou, that's French for mad. Are we going mad? It's possible. We have a leaf. I feel like that's kind of like the green agenda coming through. We have a castle. Oh, of course, they're shutting themselves away in their castles away from us. I think it's possible. I heard that Trump's inauguration, they've had to make some changes so he's not outside, so he's not in danger or whatever. So the ceremony or whatever it is, they've changed it so there's no parade or something, or he's going to be inside and rather than outside. I don't know an awful lot about it, so I'm sorry if I'm getting details wrong, but that's what I read this morning. But I get the words ivory tower, so those in power are kind of going to put themselves in an ivory tower for some reason, so I think we should pay attention to what they're doing. But also it doesn't mean that what they're doing is wrong, but there is a sense of superiority that comes through very strongly from certain parties today, a real sense of superiority. And there could be celebrities from Hollywood connected with that as well, with that funny little star there. See how it's got several layers? It's kind of a flashy star, got several layers. So there are celebrities, there are military, First Nations. All of their energy is coming through today, which shouldn't be surprising. It shouldn't be surprising at all, bearing in mind what's happening. And our Chinese coin. So it's all about the money. Connections to China, it's all about the money. Bringing a lot of fortune to many people. So I kind of felt like the whole US TikTok ban was performative. It didn't feel genuine. And I've heard that it's been revoked already. I don't really know what's going on there. I just know that TikTok disappeared for you guys in the States and now it's back again. I really don't know what the hell's happening there, but it felt performative. didn't feel quite real, didn't feel genuine. Yeah. So that's where we are right now. So pay attention, my friends. Be alert, but be very clear. Keep your eyes on the prize. Keep manifesting that positive future for yourself and for others, and that's what we will achieve. Have a lovely day. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and subscribe to my second channel, Cosmic Dragon Tarot, where you will find my pick a card readings. I will speak to you very soon. In the meantime, please take very, very good care of yourselves. And my tea's gone cold. Bye-bye.